All right, we have come a long, long, long way in the Promised Neverland. You know, after looking at this episode, after looking at this episode and understanding that we've come a long way to the prison break of all things, you know, and other prison shows, movies, and mangas that we've read, The Promised Neverland has shown us that when in doubt, always have plans, always have strategy, trust issues, and working, like I said, teamwork is key throughout this entire episodes of The Promised Neverland. There is not one bad thing I could say about this show for anime fans. All of us who like the first episode continue on and watched it further and further as we go along. Manga readers like myself, we are thrilled that they're keeping up the process of this show. Now, here's the thing. After watching 12 episodes, the only little problem I have, just not a huge problem, but the little problem I have is that they rushed it a little too much. Again, if you guys want to read, if you guys want to know more and more about everybody's backstory, you could just go to chapter 1 of The Promised Neverland. Or if you guys want to like skip a few chapters to the point where the kids escaping, then you could continue reading after. You can continue after that episode. You know what I mean? Plus, I'm also thrilled, and everybody else thrilled as well, that we're getting a season 2 of The Promised Neverland. The way how this ended, come on. We knew from the get-go that this was gonna be the start of the beginning for Emma and the others. I mean, come on, season 2 in 2020. I'm looking forward to that, and I am thrilled that the next time when this show comes out, rest assured you, I'm gonna do a review on this hands down. All right, so again, episode 12 of The Promised Neverland. You gotta give Phil credit. Everybody, okay, since the beginning of The Promised Neverland, it was always the big three. And by the big three, it was Emma, Ray, and Norman. Those big three. Okay. But you can't leave Phil behind. Like, you can't leave Phil out of this. Phil, being like the new leader to these little kids, he knew everything from the start as well. Don't push a side character like Phil and then make him to a main character, because we want that from Phil. He improved. He improved so much from a side character little boy to a main character little boy. You know what I mean? He grew up and he took the risk, not going with Emma and the others, but he decided to stay with the kids. Even though Phil knows the truth about everything that had happened, he decided to stay. I give him props. I give him credit where credit is due. Phil is staying in the farm with Isabella, and I am so proud that he's staying. Now, in the next 2 years, they're gonna get him back. Now, again, do I feel sad that Phil's staying? Yes. But he took one for the team. He's stepping up. He's stepping his game up, and I applaud him for that. And the whole escape thing, Emma is literally on top of the mountain. She's literally up there. Now here's the thing though. The reason I mention Emma so much is because when it comes to best girls of the winter of 2019, you gotta give Emma credit. You gotta put Emma up there when it comes to like best girls of 2019. Now, I'm not saying she's better than Ruri from Domestic Girlfriend. I'm not saying she's better than Raphtalia from The Rising of the Shield Hero, or Miku from the Quintuplets anime. The Quintuplet sisters. I'm not saying she's like top 1. But if there's ever a moment to talk about, if there's ever a moment to put Emma on the list, you gotta put Emma like top 10. Not top 5, but top 10. Because she has developed so much from ever since she saw Connie's death to the point where she developed so well to become a true leader. Even though she's not smart enough than Emma or Norman, she's still leading the kids onto this prison escape, which was fantastic. And seeing her plans, telling Phil about the whole plan, the whole thing from the beginning, and having telling the kids ideas to like zip line through a hole, like use hangers and rocks, cloth, zip line thing. That was freaking great to see, and I love that. And Ray, oh my God. Okay, we're gonna miss Ray. I know it's gonna be another year, but we're gonna miss Ray. Ray is the architect, but everybody's saying Ray looked like Sasuke, and he does. And we get to see Ray's a little bit of backstory as a kid, seeing how he's related to Isabella, which, by the way, Isabella gave birth to Ray, which I'm not surprised. To be honest, I wasn't even that surprised to begin with. I mean, we knew Isabella and Ray, mother and son thing. Okay, we get that. If you put the pieces together since like episode 2 or 3, and then you move on, you kind of picture that. You kind of say, oh, she looks just like Isabella. Oh, that's her mom. I mean, that's his mom. You see what I mean? It's like it's right there. It literally like fit the bill. And Norman, I love how, speaking of Norman, I love how Norman is destined for greatness in the long runs of the manga of The Promised Neverland as I read it. Norman, ever since this episode, seeing Norman talking to Ray, it was like one of those moments. It's like, I'll be in your sight forever. That kind of, it's like a guardian angel or a shadow talking, your best friend talking next to you, and you feel the emotion, and that's what Ray felt in that. Now, as the kids were escaping, everything was good until we saw Isabella. Now, here's the thing. Can we put Isabella as best mom of the winter 2019? Can we put her on best mom ever? Not of all time, but just for this season, for the winter. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. Because she has been, she's been the focus point as well in The Promised Neverland, And episode 12 demonstrated her kindness to the kids. I'm not saying she's a bad mom. She's not a bad mom. I know you guys say that, but she's not a bad mom. The way I see it, we could take all the other bad moms. We could put all the other bad moms into this and say we hate them. Like, I'll give you one that's in my mind right now. The woman from Erase. You guys watch Erase. The bad mom in Erase, that's an example of a bad mom. This mom, Isabella, she is different. She's kind. She cares about her children, all that stuff. She's just looking out for her kids. Don't want her to escape. I get that. That's why I can't hate her on what she did to Em when she broke her leg. I can't hate her on that. I mean, was it wrong? Yeah, but I can't hate her because she cared for the children. So I can't really put that in perspective. Say, I hate her. I can't. And her backstory. Her backstory says it all. Matter of fact, the endings of The Promised Neverland showed her backstory as little ending credits of her images. But the ending, episode 12 showed Isabella's backstory. For when she was a little girl, fell in crush with a boy, had a crush with a boy, trying to escape the walls and just looking outside what the walls look like. And then, she became one of the moms, became pregnant, and she became pregnant, and then they showed like her with Ray, kids singing, seeing Ray kind of open up as a true motherly love type, and I see that. Now, come on, really? Now, looking at this episode again, this was the definition of Norman can't die as well. Because think about it, Isabella wasn't devoured by demons. They just took her in because they see potential in her. Just like with Norman, they see potential in Norman. So again, who am I, the judge? But at that last second when she took out the hair, or Isabella took out her bonnet hair and just like opened up her long, luscious black hair, showing signs that she's gonna accept the punishment and she's gonna protect the other kids at all times. That's why she said farewell, good love you and all that stuff, and let Emma leave. Now, best thing about this was when they show all the demons, because I'm telling you one thing, when season 2 comes, we're gonna get a lot of demons gonna search for these kids. Now, back to what I was saying. As Emma and the others was running, they see the sunlight. And this was the start of the season 2. That is gonna be the focal point of season 2. Now, again, what do I expect from season 2? Okay, here's what I expect. And now I've not read the manga, so here's what I expect. If they keep this up, they're gonna get to that Goldie Pond arc. They gotta get to that. They gotta get to the Goldie Pond arc. They gotta meet the adult. But I ain't gonna mention the name, but they're gonna meet him, and they're gonna meet adults. The nice demon friends that they're gonna have. They're gonna make some nice demon friends that they're gonna meet, and new kids that we're gonna expect. So, episode 12 was like the vocal point. It was the start to give us. It was like a beautiful scene for Emma and the others to escape and to see the sunlight, seeing Mom open up, and Phil being the MVP again. He's staying pride and everything because he knows what the situation was. Now he's gonna stay. He's gonna stay with Mom. All that. But I really like how this ending went. Now, if you guys want to read the manga, go right ahead. You could guys start from the beginning if you guys want to get. Cause I'll be honest, the manga is way better than the anime. I'll be honest, because the manga is more detailed, more suspense than the anime. That's all I'm trying to say. So, I look forward to episodes. I look forward for next year's Promised Neverland. Also, before I end this, since spring's around the corner, since we're here in the spring, I gotta tell y'all this. I will do a review of one of the shows that I read the manga off of, and it's called We Can't Study. So, if there's any other anime shows you guys want me to watch in the spring and give it a try on doing a review of it, let me know. But I tell you one thing, like I said, I will do We Can't Study, or what you call it, We Never Learn. So again, Promised Neverland, episode 12, really great. How it ended was really spectacular. Now, next year, let's see how that really goes. I'm really excited for next year. I'm really excited for season 2. So, thanks again for watching all the reviews of the Promised Neverland, and never take your kids to the farm. Never be devoured by demons. Protect your children at all costs, and never let them be devoured by demons.